So I see, Carrie, that I'm frozen. I hopefully will unfreeze and we can keep going. Otherwise, you're going to be listening to the practice more than seeing it. So please take a good seat, one that allows you to stay comfortable, relatively still, and to have length in the torso. So from your seat, with your hands, turn your thighs in. Pull the flesh of the buttocks slightly to the sides. Descend the buttocks. And then lengthen from the base of the pelvis to the crown of the head. And take a moment to really let the pelvis settle. So in whatever sitting position you're in, even like kind of scooch around a little bit so that the weight of the body drops down into the base of the pelvis. And then into the earth. And then extend the crown of the head up so that there's a lift, a contact or a connection to the sky. And that's our connection to the heavens, to the mysterious, to the ethereal, and through our pelvis, we're connected to the material, to the solid, to the earth. Last night, I told the story of the goddess Saraswati, and I'm going to pull out some elements of her for our practice this morning. So Saraswati is the goddess of flow, and she's the goddess of elegance and refinement, of form, and she embodies simplicity. She is the quintessential student, and she invests deeply in practice. So we're already connecting to her just by in our practice this morning. As I said, she's the goddess of flow. And flow is, I want us to think about it in two ways this morning. Flow is a state that when we enter into it, the flow state, time and our sense of self completely dissolve. And so we get caught up, lost, and intimately connected to the experience that we're having. And it's something that musicians and artists often talk about. And it's something that we can bring into our movement practice, our asana practice this morning, when we really invest in and let ourselves get fully caught up in the practice. Flow is also a current, refers to a current in the world, an invisible flow, an invisible current that we can contact most directly, most tangibly through the movement of the breath. So as the breath flows and as we tune into the flow of the breath, we're lining up with the universal flow in the world that we see in the ways that rivers move, the tides in the oceans, the way the wind moves through the air. And as we tune into that and align up with that, there's the potential for an increased sense of ease. So we're gonna, through the practice, tune into the breath, do some breath practices, immerse our senses in the experience of the practice, and move as much toward that connection to and into the state of flow as possible. So with that in mind, close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, drop your attention to your breath. The breath is special, unique in that it moves whether or not we're aware of it, just like those invisible currents in the world that move whether or not we're aware of them. And we have also the capacity to bring our attention to the breath and shift it, just simply by paying attention to it. So as we bring our attention into the breath, just naturally the breath begins to slightly lengthen. So without directly shifting the breath, just tune into the inhalation, a tiny pause, exhalation, a tiny pause. With your next exhalation, join your hands at the heart, the point midway between the earth and the heavens. And as you touch the thumbs to the center of the chest in that midway place, feel into the center of you. And together we'll Om. Take a deep breath in. And gently bow your head to your heart, and then release your hands, lift your head, and come onto your mat. Onto your back. I'm going to move to the mat. So please lie on your back with your head supported and your knees bent. So with your knees bent, you can tip the knees together to touch and just lightly tuck the shoulders underneath you. So I'm going to actually do this seated so that my voice is a little clearer and perhaps you can see me if you're able with the technology. So lying on your back, place one hand on your belly around your navel and the other hand on your chest. Close your eyes and soften your jaw. Tune into the breath. And simply breathe for the first couple of cycles. And then invite the breath to move in this rhythm. Inhale into the belly and then into the hand on the chest. Exhale, move away from the hand on the chest, move away from the hand on the belly. Inhale into the hand in the belly and then the hand in the chest, on the chest. Exhale from the chest, belly, and breathe a few more rounds like this. Gently feeling the breath lift the belly into the hands on the inhale, and then lift the chest into the hand. And then the exhale, move the chest away from the hand, and then the belly away from the hand. Keep a tiny space in the lower back through the entire cycle of the breath. And just simply follow the movement of the breath, lightly directing it. So it's like you're at the helm of a boat on a river and just steering the boat with the current. So as opposed to moving against the current, you're riding the current of the breath of the river, and you're navigating and just directing the breath. First on the inhale into the belly and then the chest, and the exhale, chest, and then belly. One more time. And then after your next exhale, just let the breath return to normal. Separate the knees if you have them together. And then cross the right ankle on the left thigh. Keep the weight even across the pelvis. And without shimmying the pelvis, place your right hand on your right thigh and just gently move the right knee away from you. Option 1 is you continue to stay here, breathing. Option 2 is you lift the left knee in toward the chest and catch the back of the left thigh. Some of you might reach around and grab the front of the shin. Wherever you are, tune into the flow of the breath. And as best you can, invite the breath to move in a fluid and slightly extended rhythm. You might imagine that the inhale goes all the way into the right hip, warms that area, and the exhale travels out of the body, taking tension out with it. One more breath here. Now just release your hands if you've lifted your left knee toward your chest. Put your left foot on the ground, pause there, so your right leg is still crossed as it was. Take the arms slightly to the side of the body, and then tip your hips up. Drop the knees to the left and put the sole of your right foot on the ground. If the sole of the foot doesn't touch, then the toes, but adjust yourself in a way to bring as much of the right foot to the ground as possible with your right knee pointing up. Now this is a small movement. Just slightly open the right knee away from you. Without lifting the sole of the foot, there's a sense that your right knee is trying to move toward your left big toe. Breathe. And feel into all the sensations, in particular, perhaps paying attention to the sensations in the right hip and up along the right side of the torso. One more breath. And then inhale, lift the left knee up, uncross the right. And now change sides. So cross the left ankle on the right thigh without shifting the pelvis. Place your left hand on your left thigh and gently move the left knee away from you. involves a lot of sensation. Stay here. If it makes sense for you, lift the right knee in, catch the back of the right thigh or around on the front of the shin. Wherever you are, tune in immediately to the breath so that you're moving toward the flow of the breath with the intention of keeping the breath fluid, smooth. Inhale into the left hip. Exhale, invite tension, especially in the left hip, to leave the body with the exhale. A few more breaths. Watch the temptation to move into the stretch to the extent that it impacts and shortens the breath, especially here at the beginning of the practice. Stay in as much of a free, fluid, long breath as possible. And then exhale, release the hands, put the left foot on the ground. Keep the legs crossed, right foot on the ground. Tip the hips up, especially the left hip lifts. Drop the right knee toward the ground and bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. And then just gently move the left knee away from you. Again, it's not a big movement. As you move the left knee away from you, feel into the sensations in the left hip, pulling all of your attention in toward the breath, to the body, and to the felt experience of the pose. So we're intending, as best we can, to move into that state where time suspends, where we're unconcerned about the performance, and we're in the experience. One more breath. And then inhale, lift the right knee up. Exhale, uncross the left. Roll completely to your right side, and you can put the blanket or the pillow that you've been using to the side. Come over onto your hands and knees. And now we'll warm up the spine with cat-cow movements. So place the hands shoulder distance apart. Place the knees hip distance apart. Draw the shoulder blades lightly away from the ears, and then tuning into the breath. As you exhale, tilt the tailbone down and round your back up toward the sky. Let your head hang. As you inhale, lift the tailbone. Sway your spine toward the earth, look forward or up slightly. Continue to move like this with the breath. Linking the movement to the breath. So you begin to inhale, and then the spine curls. You begin to exhale, and the spine curls in the reverse position. Two more times. So as you inhale and move forward, exhale, pause in a neutral position, and then bring the right foot forward beside the right hand. Support the left knee as needed by flipping over the edge of the mat or placing support under the knee. Bring your right knee directly over your right heel, and then walk your left knee as far back away from you as possible. Release the toes so that the top of the foot is flat on the ground. And then either keep your fingertips on the floor or bring your hands up to your front knee. But we're staying low over the thigh. So now wherever you are, tune into the flow of the breath. And as you exhale, just slightly let the hips sink down toward the ground, bending your right knee a little deeper. As you inhale, ease off of the sensation of the stretch, so you move your hips back a little bit away from the earth. Exhale, forward, lift the chest. Inhale, ease off a little bit. 2 more times. Exhale into sensation. Inhale, ease off slightly. Last breath. And then with the next exhalation, change sides. So swing the right knee back, step the left foot forward. With the left knee directly over the left heel, walk the right knee back. Spin the outside of the right hip slightly more forward toward the left big toe. And then take the hands in whatever position you did on the first side. Planting your front heel. Exhale, shift the hips forward and down a little bit toward the earth. As you inhale, draw the hips slightly back. So it's not a big movement. Exhale forward, deepening the bend of the front knee. Inhale back a little bit. Couple more times. And then exhale, change sides again. So step the right foot forward, right knee over right heel. Walk the left knee back. This time tuck the left toes under. Put the fingertips down on the ground on either side of your front knee. Keeping the hips low, forward and down. Lift your back knee up off the ground. As you lift the back knee, make the back leg strong and straight. So that leg lifts away from the earth. And at the same time, the pelvis sinks down and forward. Turn the outside of your left hip toward your right big toe. And hug the right outer hip in. So line your right sitting bone with your right heel. Now, tune in again to the breath. And we're going to straighten and bend the front knee with the breath. So as you exhale, press the front leg straighter. It doesn't matter how straight it goes. And fold your forehead toward your shin. As you inhale, keep the back knee lifting. Bend your front knee, look forward or up slightly. Exhale, straighten the front leg, folding your forehead toward your shin. Inhale, bend the front knee, look forward or up slightly. So exhale, fold in over the front shin. Inhale, bend the front knee, look forward. Last time. Exhale. Inhale. And now drop the back knee to the ground and change sides. So left foot forward. Right knee on the ground. Tuck the right toes under. Come up high on your fingertips. And then, with the hips, the front knee over the front heel, lift the hips up. Lift the top of the back thigh strongly up away from the earth. Plant your front heel. Turn the outside of your right hip forward toward your left big toe and hug the left outer hip in so your left heel with your left sitting bone. Now exhale,
Stretch the front leg straighter without shifting your hips to the left. As you inhale, keep the right thigh lifting away from the earth. Bend your front knee, look forward. 4 more times. Exhale. Fold over the front leg as it straightens. Inhale, bend and look forward. 3 more. Tuning into the flow of the breath and the flow of the body moving through space. One more. And now when your front knee is bent, push off with your back foot, step forward. Standing forward bend. Take your feet a little bit wider apart, or a lot wider apart. Bring the outside edges of the feet parallel, the long edges of your mat. Bend the knees a little bit to fold the torso fully over the legs. And now with your fingertips, all 10 fingertips on the ground, lightly push the heels apart. And as you push the heels apart, stretch the legs a little straighter. As you exhale, bend the knees a little bit more and fold the torso in over the legs. Inhale, straighter. Exhale, fold. Now I'll do a little bit more with the torso. So place the hands on the shins, inhale. Stretch the legs, lengthen the front of the torso, look forward. As you exhale, bend the knees a bit and fold all the way over. So depending on your body, as you inhale, you might hold the ankles or even keep the fingertips on the ground. Stretch legs and arms and torso straight. And exhale, maybe bend the knees, maybe not, fold all the way down over the legs. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen the front of the torso, feel the breath lift the chest. And then as you exhale, fold all the way over, drawing the low belly slightly toward the spine. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Now, a bit bent, put your hands on your hips, lift your chin, inhale, and come all the way up. So I'm just gonna face the long edge of the mat so I face the camera. You can stay facing the short edge of the mat. We're gonna do a few shoulder warm-ups. So just simply roll the shoulders up. So inhale, lift the ears up. Move the tops of the shoulders up to the ears. Move the tops of the shoulders back. Exhale, descend the shoulder blades. Inhale, roll the shoulders forward, lift them up. Exhale, take the shoulders back and down. One more time. Inhale, roll forward and up. Exhale, back and down. And now we'll reverse that. So inhale, go back. And exhale, roll the shoulders forward and down. Inhale, take the shoulders back and up. Exhale, forward and down. One more time. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale the arms to the sides. And as you bend the elbows and join your forearms together, eagle arms. So option 1 is to stay here, lifting the elbows up as high as the tops of the shoulders. Option 2 is to take your right elbow below your left. Put the backs of the palms together, or move your right hand toward the face and put it in front of the left palm. Now wherever you are, lift the elbows up slightly, press the forearms away from you. Move the head back and feel the sensation of the shoulders, in between the shoulder blades, and breathe there. One more breath. Unwrap the arms, inhale, stretch them out to the sides. And now as you exhale, elbows back together. Stay here, if that's your side, or drop this time the left elbow underneath the right. Bring the backs of the palms together, or put the left hand in front of the right palm. Lifting the elbows up, press the forearms away from you a little bit. Move the head back. As you move the head back, breathe into the sensations at the tops of the shoulders. Sometimes it's useful to just even wiggle the head a little bit, move it around fluidly to help release the sensations. Inhale, stretch the arms out to the sides. Exhale, the arms down. Inhale, lift the right arm all the way up alongside the right ear. Let the shoulder blade lift so you really lengthen all along the right side of the torso. Grab the right upper arm with the left hand and turn the arm in. So you spin the arm in the shoulder socket so that the outside of the arm turns toward the face and the pinky finger moves more toward the midline of the body. Now bend the elbow. And if it's possible, bend the elbow so that the hand is more in line with the shoulder blade rather than reaching in toward the spine. With your left hand, lift the right elbow up. And if the arm is vertical, press the upper arm back behind the ear without letting the elbow turn out. So the elbow turns in toward the head. One more breath. And then exhale and release. Inhale the other side, so stretch the left arm up alongside the left ear. Lift the shoulder blade, lengthening all along the left side of the torso. Grab the arm with the right hand and turn the tricep toward the face. Bend the elbow and press the fingertips of the left hand on the left shoulder blade. Now use your right hand to lift the elbow up, lengthening on the underside of the arm. And if the arm is vertical, press the upper arm back behind the ears. Breathe. Feel the breath especially move along the side, the left side of the torso. And then exhale and release. Last one. So interlace the hands behind you, bend the elbows, and then lightly press the top of the upper arm bones back toward the wall behind you. Take the head back and push the shoulder blades into the upper back, so that the upper chest lifts. Breathe up into the top of the chest, lifting and expanding the collarbones. Keep that lift even as you exhale. Squeeze the elbows a little bit toward each other if you're stiffer in this position. If you're overly mobile in your shoulders, then have the elbows a little bit further apart and press them back toward the wall behind you. Inhale, exhale, and release. And then the other side, so we're changing the interlacing of the fingers. So as you shift the finger interlock so that the other thumb is on top, move the top of the upper arm bones back, take the head back, and press the shoulder blades forward into the upper back to bring lift to the upper part of the chest, lift and widen the collarbones, and feel the breath move there. So inhale all the way up into the upper chest. Keep the lift even as you exhale. So with your next breath in, lift the chest, and as you exhale, maintain that as you release the arms to the sides. Face the long edge of your mat. And now inhale, step your feet really wide apart. Triangle pose. Turn the left foot slightly in. Rotate the right leg and foot out. Inhale, stretch the arms to the sides. Plant your back heel. Micro bend your front knee so it feels slightly bent, but it looks straight to me. And then as you inhale, lift the right arm up a bit, lengthen through the right side of the torso, and then keeping that length as you exhale, stretch out, and then down, hold your shin or your ankle. Reach your other arm straight up. Plant your heel and push it lightly away from you. Ground the big toe side of your front foot and hug your right buttocks in underneath you. Now draw both shoulder blades away from the ears, and keeping the shoulder blades down, lengthen from your right hip to your right armpit. Keeping the right shoulder blade away from the right ear, twist the torso to the left and reach up into your left hand. Take your head back a little bit, and now for the last breath, invite the breath right up into the upper chest as best you can. Push down into your back heel, inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release the arms, turn the feet. And then the second side. So turn your right foot in slightly. Rotate your left leg and foot out. Inhale the arms to the sides. Plant your back heel. Micro bend your front knee. Firm your left buttocks. Inhale, lift up a bit on the left side of the torso. And now as you exhale, stretch out. And then down, hold your shin or ankle. Reach the other arm up. Breathe. Feel into the flow of the breath. Plant your back heel and push it away from you. Ground the big toe side of your front foot and hug your left buttocks in underneath you. Now with both shoulder blades away from the ears, lengthen from your right hip to your right armpit. Make that side of the torso longer and see if you can breathe a little bit more into that side. And then twist the center of the heart and look up into the top, lift up into the top fingertips. One more breath. Push into both heels. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, turn the feet. Bend the knees. Inhale, step the feet together. Come to stand with the feet right together so that the big toe sides of the feet touch. Put your right hand on your right thigh. Stretch your left arm up. Lift up. Let the shoulder blade lift and turn the tricep toward the head. So it's just like you did in the earlier arm position. Now side bend. Shift your hips to the left, and as you exhale, lean over to the right. Slide your right hand down toward your right knee. Squeeze your legs together and plant both heels strongly. Now breathe all into the left side of the torso, from the left hip to the left armpit. Turn the tricep of the left arm toward the left side of your face. Take your head back a little bit. And now lift the top of the chest up, bringing the breath all the way up into the upper chest. Inhale, come back up. Exhale that arm down. Change sides. Inhale the right arm up, left hand on your thigh. Lengthen through the right side of the torso and turn the tricep toward your head. Squeeze the legs together. And then feeling into the movement of the breath, with your next exhalation, shift your hips to the right and lean over to the left. As you lean over to the left, squeeze the legs together and sink the heels into the earth. At the same time, lengthen through the right side of the torso, turn the tricep toward the head, and stretch the fingertips out. Feel the space all the way from your right heel to your right fingertips. One more breath. And then inhale, all the way up. Exhale, that arm down. Triangle pose, Trikonasana, a second time. Inhale, step the feet wide apart. Turn the left foot in a little bit. Rotate the right leg and foot out. Inhale the arms to the sides. So strong legs, plant your back heel. Micro bend your front knee, firm your front buttocks. Now lift up a little bit on the right side, like you're doing a side bend to the left. Keeping that length on the right side of the torso, stretch out. Stretch out. Reach your right hand down to your shin or ankle. Put your left hand on your hip for a moment. Plant your back heel. Keep a slight bend in your front knee and hug your front buttocks underneath you. Now really strongly lengthen from the right hip to the right shoulder. Even drop the left side of your rib cage down. Pull your right shoulder blade away from your right ear and twist the center of the chest up. So now inhale, take the left arm straight up in the air. Turn the whole arm toward the side of your face so that the palm faces in the same direction as the crown of the head. Now lower it over the ear with the palm down. Breathe into the sides of the torso. Lengthen from your left hip to your left finger. Either stay here, or if you want to work more, stretch the right arm out alongside the right ear and really pull the torso out of the pelvis. Wherever you are, push into both heels. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, release your arms, turn your feet. Take a breath. And then the second side. So turn your right foot in, your left leg and foot out. Slightly bend your left knee, firm your left thigh and your left buttocks, and push into your right heel. Inhale the arms to the sides. Lift up a bit on the left side. Breathe into that side of the torso and even feel like you're doing a side bend to the right. Now keep that length. Exhale, reach out. Put your left hand on your shin or ankle, right hand on your hip. Pause there and breathe. Plant your back heel. Hug your front buttocks underneath you. And now really strongly again, lengthen through the left side of the torso. Even drop the right side of your rib cage down. Draw the shoulder blades away from the ears. And now keeping the length on the left side of the torso, stretch the right arm up. Turn the whole arm toward your head. And now lower it over the ear, palm down. Take your head back a little bit. Breathe along the sides of the torso, especially the right side. And if you did it on the first side, now lift the left arm also along the left side of the head, turning the triceps in. Stretch out. Now push into both heels if your arms are alongside your ears. Stay there. Inhale, everybody come up. Exhale, turn your feet, lower your arms, and then inhale, step your feet together. Big toes touch. Heels a little bit wider apart. A second time, a side bend. So inhale, stretch the left arm up alongside your left ear. Lift up. So option one is you can keep the right hand on the thigh as we've been doing, or you could stretch the right arm up, interlace your fingers, and extend the first fingers. So here, in whichever position you're in, turn the triceps toward the head. Shift the hips to the left, and now lean way over to the right. As you lean over to the right, press left heel down and lengthen through the left side of the torso. See if you can go over a little bit more. If you've got both arms out alongside the ears, squeeze the right arm in toward your head. Now pushing into both heels, inhale, come up. Exhale, that arm down. Change sides. Inhale, right arm up. Lengthen along the side of the torso. Now strongly shift your hips to the, if your both arms are overhead, change the interlacing of the hands. Strongly shift your hips to the right. Lean over to the left. Spin the triceps toward the sides of your face. Push into both heels. Lengthen through the right side of the torso. Create as much space there for the breath as possible. So in that space, the breath can move fluidly, moving us into alignment with the flow of the universe, the same impulse that moves the winds, the tides, the currents, the breath. Push into both heels, inhale, come up. Exhale, arms down. Extended side angle. Inhale, step the feet really wide apart. For Padmasana, turn the left foot in, rotate the right leg and foot out. Inhale the arms to the sides. Exhale, deeply bend your front knee, aiming your front knee straight over your middle toes. Push your back heel down, and now drop your right forearm to your thigh. Just put your left hand on your hip, actually, sorry. Keeping the legs strong and the front knee bent, your front buttocks firm. Draw the shoulder blades away from your ears. Turn your left palm up. Spin your left hand a bit more to your left foot, like your thumb is trying to turn over the toenail of your pinky toe. And notice that that pulls the right shoulder blade away from your right ear more. Keep that. Lengthen along the right side of the torso. I got my lefts and rights mixed up there, but you all get it. Move the head back a little bit. Turn the head to the left. Now inhale. Take the left arm straight up. Lift from the center of the chest into your left hand. Sink your heels down into the earth and reach your left fingertips to the sky. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, slide or lower your right hand down to the ground inside your right heel. Wherever you are though, breathe right up into the upper chest, lifting and expanding the collarbones on the inhale. Now push into the heels on the exhale, and inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, turn your feet, lower your arms. Second side. Turn the right foot in, rotate the left leg and foot out. Inhale, arms to the sides. Exhale, deeply bend your left knee. Aim it out toward the baby toe. Push your back heel down. And now drop your forearm to your thigh. And put your other hand on your hip. As you plant your back heel, hug your front hip underneath you to lengthen the inside edge of that thigh. Now with your left palm up, spin your left palm toward your toes and feel that anchor your shoulder blade. Keeping that shoulder blade anchored, twist the center of the chest and the head a little bit to the right. Lift the chest, breathe up into the upper chest as best you can. Now stretch the right arm up alongside the right ear and either stay here or take the left fingertips inside the front heel. Wherever you are, keep breathing. The inhale, take it all the way into the upper chest. Exhale, maintain the lift there. And now pushing into both heels, inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, turn your feet, lower your arms, and then inhale, step your feet together. We're going to do that same pose a second time. Inhale, step the feet really wide apart. Turn the left foot in, rotate the right leg and foot out. Inhale, the arms to the sides. Exhale, bend your front knee, aim it straight over your middle toes, ground your back heel, and then forearm to your thigh. Let's take the other arm up straight away. Now, turning the right palm up, spin it toward your toes, anchor that shoulder blade away from the ears, and then twist the chest and the head slightly to the left. Take the head back. Now stay there and maybe take the right hand down to the ground or not. Rotate the left arm toward the head and then lower it over the ear, palm down. Let that shoulder blade lift and lengthen from your left heel all the way into your left fingertips. Stay here, or like you did in Trikonasana, take both arms out alongside the ears. Push into both heels. Lift the upper chest. Anchor your right shoulder blade unless both arms are overhead, in which case lift the shoulder blades. Push into both heels. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, turn the feet, lower the arms. Second side. Turn the right foot in, left leg and foot out. Inhale, the arms to the sides. Exhale, deeply bend your front knee. Anchor your back heel. Lengthen the inside edge of your front thigh. And then arm down, other arm up. Keeping the work in the legs, spin the left hand palm up toward the toes to anchor the left shoulder blade. Exhale, perhaps take the left hand down to the inside of the heel, or not. Lift the right arm, lift the chest. Rotate the whole right arm toward the head. And now lower it over the ear, palm down. Lengthen from your back heel to your right fingertips, spanning the distance between earth and sky. And if you listened to the myth last night, there's this great river that runs from from down to the earth, and we're embodying that great river in the stance from our heel to our top fingertips. So if you did it on the first side, take the left arm out alongside the left ear, lift both shoulder blades, lift the upper chest, take another breath here, push down into both heels, inhale, come all the way up, exhale, turn the feet, lower the arms, and inhale, step the feet again right together. Utkatasana, chair pose. So with the feet right together, bend the knees deeply, lean over until your fingertips touch the ground. Anchor your heels, lift the upper chest, and then inhale the arms just to shoulder height, palms down. Pull the upper arm bones back into the shoulder sockets and sink down into your heels. Turn the buttocks toward the heels and squeeze the outer hips in until the low belly lifts. Now with the hands palms down, pull them back toward the shoulder sockets, and then inhale, perhaps stretch the arms alongside the ears and move the upper arms back. You can stay with the arms at shoulder height, especially if you have challenges in your shoulders right now. Breathe. If you're wherever you are, lengthen the sides of the torso and lift the upper chest. Now push into both heels, inhale, come up. Exhale, arms to your sides. Face the short edge of the mat. Take a deep breath in, place your feet hip-bone distance apart. As you exhale, hinge from the tops of the thighs, fold over, standing forward bend. Bend your knees until your fingertips touch the ground. And as your fingertips touch the ground, release your head. With the next breath in, if your legs are not easily able to straighten in this position, push the heels apart and concentrate on lengthening the backs of the legs straight up so that you've got that straight line between earth and sky. Hips reaching toward the sky, heels sinking down into the earth. If your legs are more able to straighten, as you push the heels apart, hug the outer hips in and feel the low belly lift. And just slightly turn your sitting bones toward your heels. Lengthen the sides of the torso. And now wherever you are, grab hold of your elbows. Lift the elbows away from the legs a little bit. And keeping the low belly lifted and the buttocks firm, use the weight of the arms to draw length in the sides of the torso. Bending the knees as you need to. Now bring the elbows toward the ankles, folding your torso down more deeply over the legs. Release the elbows, put the fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step the left foot all the way back, straight leg lunge. But now drop your left knee to the ground. Support the left knee by flipping over the edge of the mat or using a blanket or a pillow underneath it. Squeeze the legs together and bring your hands up to your front thigh. Bend your front knee deeper. Sink your hips forward and down and lift the chest up. Scoop the low belly slightly back and then inhale. Take the left arm up alongside the left ear. Turn the tricep toward the head. Lengthen all the way through the left side of the torso. And now as you exhale, side bend to the right. It's not necessarily a big movement. And you can do this if it's not a good idea for your arm to be overhead anymore. You can put your left hand on your hip and side bend. You'll get more sensation along the side of the torso if you can take your arm overhead though. Move your head back a little bit. Lift the upper chest. Lean over. And then inhale that arm up. Exhale the hand down. Lift your back knee off the ground. Step the back foot forward. Exhale here. And then inhale, right foot back. Drop your right knee to the ground. So left knee over your left heel. Bring your hands out to your front thigh. Spin the outside edge of your hip more forward. Lean your shoulder a little bit and hug the low belly in. And then inhale, stretch the right arm up. Spin the tricep toward the head. Lift up really well. And then as you exhale, lean over to the left. Breathe. And especially breathe into areas of sensation, maybe on the front of the left thigh. Front of the right thigh, or along the right side of the torso. One more breath. And then inhale up. Exhale the hand down. You can step forward or back into downward facing dog as you prefer. And then come back to the first side again. So step the left foot back or the right foot forward. And again, drop your left knee to the ground. Support the knee as you need to. And then bring your hands out to your front thigh. Squeeze your legs together. Lean the shoulders back. This time we're going to do a twist here. So inhale the left arm up, but get that same length along the left side of the torso. Keeping that length. Now as you exhale, twist the torso to the right and put as much of your left upper arm across your knee as you can get. Join the palms together in prayer position, or put the right hand on the ground. Stretch the left arm up. Wherever you are, draw the low belly slightly away from your front thigh. Bend your front knee deeply, squeeze your front hip in, and then move the head back. Lengthen the left side of the torso and twist the torso to the right. One more breath. Inhale, unwrap, touch the ground. Lift your back knee, step forward or back, and change sides. So your right leg is down on the ground, and your left knee is bent with the left knee over the left heel. Bring the hands up to the front knee. Low belly back. Bring your shoulders back away from your front knee, and then inhale the right arm up. As you take the right arm up, lift up, lengthen all the way through the right side of the torso, and keeping as much of that length as possible. Exhale, hook the arm across the knee. You want to get as much of the arm across the knee as possible, so wiggle it over there as best you can. And then either hands in prayer position like the first side, or if you did it on the first side, take your right fingers to the ground, stretch your left arm. In whatever position you're in, hug your left hip in and turn the outside edge of your right hip forward toward your left big toe. Press your hands together, descend the shoulder blades, take the head back, and twist the torso strongly to the left. Breathe into the upper chest. And then inhale, unwrap. Place both hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step the front foot back. And then take a moment, look at your hands. Turn them slightly out to the sides. And glue the knuckles at the base of your first fingers and the heels of your thumbs down. Micro bend the elbows. And turn the outside of the arms toward the sides of your face. Pull your hips strongly back, away from your hands. And keeping the upper arms turning toward the sides of the face. Move your head and your torso through your arms. As you press the tops of the thigh bones back, hug the outside of your hips in toward the midline until you feel a lift in the low belly. Descend the heels without rounding the lower back. One more breath. And then exhale, drop your knees to the ground and come over onto your back. So again, have a blanket perhaps or a pillow for your head and lie on your back. Pause, bend the knees, perhaps touch the knees together as you did at the beginning of the practice. And lay one palm down on the belly and one hand on the chest. Close your eyes. And first simply feel into the rhythm of the breath. And then, following the rhythm, so we're going to smooth out the breath necessarily or lengthen it, simply direct it, again like you're the captain on the ship on the river, navigating while going with the current. Inhale into the belly and the hand in the belly, and then the hand in the chest. Exhale, move the chest away from the hand there, and then the belly away from the bottom hand. Just a couple more. Inhale, belly, chest. Exhale, chest, belly. Inhale, belly, chest. Exhale, chest, belly. One more time. Now place your arms at your sides. Knit the muscles of the low belly in toward the center of the body and down toward the spine. And lift the knees up just over the hips. Keep the low belly down. And with the knees over the hips, maybe bring the shins parallel to the ground. You can hold onto the edges of the mat with your hands, or you can just have your arms at your sides. Now point your right toes. Without bending the knee, just drop the toes down toward the ground and come back up. So the movement's in the hip joint. Exhale, toes touch, inhale back up. Keep the low belly down, exhale down, inhale back up. And keep the weight even across both sides of the pelvis. Down, up, 3 more times. So you're just lightly touching the toes and the knee is not bending or straightening more than it is in the beginning position, the start position. Last one. And now the other side. So keep the right knee as it is. Point the left toes. Touch the left toes down. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale back up. Keep the shoulders and the throat as possible. Breathe. Release tension in the jaw. 4 more. And then when that knee is back up, exhale, both feet down on the ground. And take your arms to your sides with the palms turned up. Draw the knees in toward the chest and squeeze the knees together. So as you draw the knees in, you're not using your hands, and your lower back, it might be in contact with the ground, but it's not weight bearing. So you really feel the weight across the back of the pelvis. Squeeze the knees together. Turn the knees to point toward your right fingertips. And now as you exhale, drop the knees toward the right elbow. Make sure your left shoulder stays down on the ground. And then in whatever position you are, so you might be hovering just off the ground or you might be up a couple of inches. Now squeeze the knees together. Press the left knee further out away from you. Spin the rib cage to the left, like you're trying to put more weight down on your left shoulder. And reach out through your left fingertips. Hold. Squeeze the knees together. And using the bottom leg, inhale, lift the knees up. Tuck the shoulder blades under, away from the ears. Squeeze the knees together. Turn your knees so that they point toward your your left fingers. Squeezing the knees together. As you exhale, take the knees over until just before where your right shoulder would lift. So wherever you are now, squeeze the knees together, especially the bottom knee into the top knee. Lengthen the top knee out away from you. Twist the torso and the rib cage to the right. Anchor your right shoulder blade and reach out through your right fingertips. Breathe. And then inhale, come back up. We're going to do it a second time. If you have the capacity and the desire to do this with your legs straight, you can. And then you're pointing your toes toward your right fingertips. Squeeze the knees together. Turn either the knees or the toes toward the right arm. And then as you exhale, come over. Making sure that you're not touching. So if your legs are straight, your toes are hovering over your fingertips. Your knees are hovering over the ground, just below your right elbow. Squeeze the knees together. Push out through the left leg more. Twist the torso to the left. Reach out through your left fingertips. Breathe into the upper chest. Squeeze the legs together. Inhale, come back up. And then the other side. So spin the knees or the toes to the left. Squeeze the legs together. And then exhale, come over till you hover or so. Press out through your right leg, your right knee. Keeping the upper chest lifted, twist the torso to the right. And reach out through your right hand. Feel the breath. And especially feel the breath lift the upper chest. One more breath. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, feet on the ground. Stretch the arms out alongside the ears with the palms up optionally. Otherwise, you can just keep them at the sides. Windshield wipers. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Drop your left knee toward your right foot. Letting the left hip lift a little bit. Really spin that leg in. If your arms are overhead, reach out through your left arm, and you can lift just your left arm if that's something that's appropriate. Possibly, to have more sensation, pick your right foot up, use it to weight your left knee down. And then breathe along the left side of the torso, maybe into the front of the hip, anywhere on the side. If you cross the right foot over, uncross. Inhale, lift the knees up. And then the other side. So now drop your right knee down toward your left foot. Breathe into that side of the torso. If your right arm is alongside your ear, lengthen it away from you. Possibly pick your left foot up, use it to weight your right knee down. One more breath. Uncross the left foot if you crossed. Lift both knees up. Take the blanket from behind your head. Bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. So now stretch the arms overhead if that's available to you. If not, you could bend the elbows into a cactus position, or you could stretch the arms straight out to the sides. So with the arms overhead, we're going to do a variation of bridge pose. With the arms overhead, bring the entire back of your rib cage down to the ground. Even perhaps have your lower back touching a little bit. As you bring the back of the rib cage down, hollow out the belly, drawing the navel toward the spine. Push your heels into the ground. Now, without lifting the back of your rib cage, lift your hips up 1 or 2 inches off the ground. It's not a big lift. Suck the low belly and the navel down toward the spine and breathe into the rib cage. If it's possible, lift the hips a little bit more, keeping the back of the rib cage down on the ground. Suck the low belly down. Breathe into the rib cage, even puff the rib cage up with the breath. And then exhale. Take the feet down. Relax the arms for a moment. Stretch the arms back up overhead. Stretch the fingertips away from you. Plant your heels. And now as you inhale, lift the hips up so that you've basically got a straight line from your knees through your hips to your shoulders. Use the muscles of the buttocks to hold. Now draw the low, hollow out the belly as best you can, and breathe into the rib cage. So as you inhale, press the ribs out side to side and lift the upper chest. As you exhale, keep the navel descending toward the spine. Inhale, rib cage widens and lifts. Exhale, navel down. One more breath. And then exhale. Come all the way down. Take your arms to the sides. One more bridge pose, the classic version. So with your elbows bent, point your fingertips up toward the sky. Plant your heels. Lift your hips way up. Tuck the tops of the shoulders underneath you. Press the elbows down. Press the heels down. And now push the tops of the upper arms down even more than the elbows. This time, using the muscles of the buttocks to lift the hips, curl the chest toward the chin. Keep the low belly just slightly down and really, again, bring the breath into the rib cage, lifting the rib cage up toward the sky, widen it out side to side, and curl the upper chest right to the chin. Stretch the arms straight, hold on to the edges of the mat, and turn the upper arms out. Really strongly lift up, and then exhale, and bring your hips down. Grab your support again for your head, and place the blanket behind your head. Bring your hands back to your torso. I'm going to move back closer to the screen now. So as you place one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest, close your eyes and breathe into your hands. Inhale, belly, chest. Exhale, chest, belly. Just tune into the flow of the breath, directing it first into the belly on the inhale and then the chest.
And then exhaling from the chest and then the belly. A few more breaths here, letting the body settle and the breath settle. Completely relax your face. And as you completely relax your face, breathe in and out softly through the nose. One more cycle. Inhale, belly, chest. Exhale, chest, belly. And then relax the body, letting the body settle down into the earth. And then we're going to do a breath called alternate nostril breathing. We're going to do this lying down, but if you prefer to sit, that's an option. But lying down, be more at ease, softer, and so we can be simply with the movement of the breath. So now take your right hand and place the first two fingers of the right hand between the eyebrows. Touch the thumb to the tip of the thumb to the right nostril and the tip of the ring finger to the left nostril. Close your eyes. Inhale through both nostrils. Exhale through both. Inhale through both nostrils. Close off the right nostril and exhale just through the left. Inhale through the left nostril. Close the left nostril with the ring finger. Open the right nostril and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right nostril. Close with the thumb, releasing the ring finger. Exhale through the left. Inhale left. Close. Exhale right. Simply tune into the flow and direct it in this way through the nostrils. Inhale, right. Close. Exhale left. One more cycle all the way through. Inhale left. Close. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close. And end with this exhale on your left. Release your right hand. And keeping the eyes closed, just gently tune into the flow of the breath. That breath is a calming breath that stabilizes our nervous system. And to tune into the flow, especially that unseen rhythm of the universe that moves the winds and the tides and the breath. That unseen rhythm also moves the intuitive wisdom of the heart up to the head where we can become aware of it. And for that to happen, our body needs to be calm. So one more time, putting the first two fingers of the right hand on the forehead near the eyebrows. Bring the tip of the thumb to the right nostril and the tip of the ring finger to the left. Close the eyes. Exhale through both nostrils. Inhale through both. Close the right nostril, exhale through the left. Inhale left. Close. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close. Exhale left. One more cycle. Inhale left. Close. Exhale. Inhale right. Close. And end with this exhale left. Release the right hand. Notice the breath. And then either stay with the knees bent or stretch the right leg straight. Either place the palms down on the torso or take the arms to the sides and rotate the arms so that the palms face up. Let your body settle into the earth. And as you completely release the body into gravity, stay aware of the breath. Relax the face completely. And notice the movement of the breath, recognizing the breath as spanning heaven and earth, the mysterious and the practical, the unseen and the seen. Feel that rhythm feel that connection as the breath moves in and out of the body. And perhaps I'm aware as well of the internal river that carries the timeless wisdom of the heart, the intuitive, instinctual, and the inspirational impulses from the heart, from the depths to the head, where we can become aware of them and make them conscious and alive in our world. And know that each time that we tap into the breath, we are tuning in the heavens and the earth, and bridging space between the heart and the head. Gently deepen the breath. And with the next deeper breath in, place the palms down on the torso again if they're not already there. One at a time, bend the knees, place the feet down on the ground. And then supporting the head with the right arm as needed, roll all the way to the right side. Take a little pause there. Down with your left hand, bring yourself up. Come to sit. Sitting well, close your eyes. And join your palms together at your heart. May our practice move us into deeper connection to the flows of the universe, the currents that from the heavens to the earth, and that run within us from the heart to the head. That intention will close the practice with one Om. Exhale. Inhale. And gently bow your head to your heart. Release your hands, lift your head. And then I will say thank you so much for tuning into the practice. If you're on FaceTime, I'm going to end now. If you're on Zoom, I'm going to unmute you all so that I can say goodbye. Thank you so much.